This isn't the Cracker Barrel I grew up with. They've gone woke. Just another company throwing away tradition. Cracker Barrel used to mean something. For decades, it wasn't just a restaurant, it was a tradition. The rocking chairs on the porch, the warm biscuits straight from the oven, the rustic walls filled with antiques and Americana. It was comfort food with comfort vibes, a place where families and travelers felt at home. But then came a so-called modernization plan. A $700 million rebrand, spearheaded by a CEO who thought Cracker Barrel needed to be more woke. Out went the dark wood and nostalgic charm. In came sterile white walls, bright lights, generic artwork, and even the iconic logo of the old man in a rocking chair was replaced with some bland, corporate design. And the result? Loyal customers, the very people who kept Cracker Barrel alive for decades, felt betrayed. They didn't ask for a TikTok-friendly, Instagrammable dining room. They wanted the cozy country store they grew up with. Instead, they got a corporate experiment that backfired almost instantly. Within weeks, the backlash was so massive the company had to backpedal. They promised to bring back the old logo, but the damage was already done. Angry customers compared Cracker Barrel's woke makeover to Bud Light's disastrous Dylan Mulvaney fiasco. So how did one decision to go woke spiral into one of the biggest corporate betrayals of its loyal fan base? Today, we're breaking down the downfall of Cracker Barrel and why chasing trends can destroy a legacy brand. When you think about Cracker Barrel, you don't just think about food, you think about an experience. For decades, it wasn't just another roadside stop, it was a living piece of Americana. Families made memories there. Grandparents took their grandkids, passing down traditions over plates of fried chicken and cornbread. Cracker Barrel built a reputation on something money can't buy: authenticity. It wasn't glamorous, and that was the point. It was a place where America's past felt alive. For many, Cracker Barrel wasn't just a restaurant chain. It was a piece of their childhood, their community, their story. But then, a new CEO stepped in with a big idea. Cracker Barrel had to modernize. No more being stuck in the past. No more leaning on nostalgia. The new CEO came in swinging with what she called a modernization plan. A $700 million overhaul that, on paper, was supposed to breathe new life into the chain. But in reality, it ripped out the very soul of Cracker Barrel.
Sure, I think it's too basic. This is one of the remodeled ones.
It's new.
Yeah, it was.
Well, we are in here and we are officially seated. What do you think, Goo? It's completely different in here.
I don't know. I don't really know at this point. I just feel kind of weird. I don't know where I am.
Then came the logo. The iconic image of the old man sitting in his rocking chair was swapped out for a minimalist redesign. Clean lines, modern font, stripped of character. It looked like something a Silicon Valley startup would cook up, not the emblem of a Southern comfort brand. And people noticed. Within days, videos went viral on TikTok and Instagram of customers walking into the new stores and literally asking, "What happened to Cracker Barrel?" Comments exploded with anger. "This isn't the Cracker Barrel I grew up with. They've gone woke. Just another company throwing away tradition." Calling it yet another case of a company caving to woke marketing strategies. And when politics got dragged into the mix, it went nuclear. Even Donald Trump himself weighed in, slamming the new branding and siding with the outraged customers. The outrage wasn't just noise online, it hit the business hard. Loyal diners started swearing off the chain. Analysts noticed the stock sliding. News outlets ran headlines comparing Cracker Barrel's blunder to other massive brand misfires. The public sentiment was clear. People didn't want the new Cracker Barrel. They wanted the one they remembered, the one that made them feel like home. And under the pressure, the company cracked. After just weeks of backlash, Cracker Barrel was forced into a humiliating reversal. They publicly announced that the old logo, the man in the rocking chair, would be coming back. They admitted they had heard the criticism and were rolling back parts of the redesign. But here's the thing. The damage was already done. You can't spend millions of dollars telling your customers their traditions are outdated, and then just slap the old logo back on the wall like nothing happened. The trust was broken. People felt betrayed, and that's the irony of it all. In chasing new, younger, woke audiences, Cracker Barrel ended up alienating the very people who built its success. Instead of bringing in fresh crowds, they pushed away their most loyal base. And once you lose trust with your core, good luck getting it back. The consequences came fast. The company's stock price took a hit, sliding double digits in just a few weeks as investors panicked over the backlash. Analysts who once saw the rebrand as a bold, forward-looking strategy now labeled it a disaster. Shareholders started asking the same question customers were asking: why mess with what wasn't broken? And it wasn't just the look of the stores. Behind the scenes, the cracks showed even deeper. Employees came forward with shocking claims that the company's push for cost-cutting had destroyed the quality of the food itself. This combination, sterile remodels, a failed logo rollout, plummeting food quality, and political outrage, became a perfect storm. What should have been a celebration of Cracker Barrel's future turned into a corporate nightmare. The brand wasn't trending for a bold comeback. It was trending for selling out its roots. At the end of the day, all roads lead back to leadership. And in this case, it was a modern, image-obsessed CEO who thought she could drag Cracker Barrel into the woke era, and it blew up in her face. She gambled $700 million on a makeover that nobody wanted. She stripped away the rustic charm, tampered with the food, and alienated the very families who made this brand a household name. The result? A company divided, a stock price sliding, and a legacy brand humiliated in front of the entire country. Customers are furious, investors are restless, and the calls for her resignation are getting louder every single day. This wasn't just bad business, it was a betrayal. Cracker Barrel didn't fall because of its traditions. It fell because its leader tried to erase them. And that, right there, is the real downfall.